Hey guys, what's going on? So I just saw this notice that we will finally be getting this Dark Support type hero, Dr. Moral's assistant, Miss Etica, apparently. I've heard a lot about her, how she is amazing. I think that this was leaked a couple of weeks ago. I think someone even made a video on it, talking about her skills. Regardless, I don't like to talk about things until they're officially announced and whatever, because it doesn't really mean anything until that point anyway. But today we are going to be taking a look at her. I will give my thoughts on her. I have a lot of hope that she is good, and I really hope she is good because a dark support is really what we need. And I've always been a fan of mono teams, especially dark, and so she would be really good for that. So we can take a look at the little video here, take a look at her skills real quick. They do a really good job with that editing there. I wish I could do stuff like that, but I'm a scrub. Well, just pretend it's mine. See, this is like my introduction. Damn, I'm good. And you can see her skills really quick there. If you just want to pause, we are going to go over them individually anyway, but there they are. And we can see her animations as well. She is very unique, like her in-game sort of thing. Alright, pretty interesting. Let's go on to read about her skills. I also got into a lot of trouble with Verdandi because I didn't read her little hero story here, so we're gonna do that as well. Dr. Moral's assistant and heirs to his Magi engineering legacy. She, so it is a she, okay? I mean, I believe she does have breasts. So, I mean, who knows though? It could be a male, you know? That's just how things work around sometimes. She is head over heels for her boss and often assists with his experiments just to be closer to him, and to grow her medical and chemical knowledge, of course. Though Dr. Moral doesn't really show affection, he sometimes makes kind remarks towards Etica that only serve to fuel her crush. It's not that he's trying to lead her on, but Etica is such a hopeless romantic that she finds ways to read meanings into his words. She speaks softly outside the lab, but sometimes lets slip a cruel side of her personality that she would never let Dr. Moral see. I don't mean to be rude, but Miss Etica looks like a crazy nurse who has wild methods of treating her patients. Hey, that kind of sounds like Mediana a bit. I wonder what she loves about Dr. Moral. Is it his intelligence, his success, or maybe he's as crazy as Miss Etica and they are a great match. Hope their crazy experiments won't cause too much trouble to others around them. Okay, so general crazy nurse backstory there, I guess. Dr. Moral, what kind of experiment will you prepare today? I will prepare anything for you. Woohoo, heart emoji. And there she is. Again, a very interesting sort of colorful character there. And, but enough with that. On to the interesting stuff. Her skills. So leader skill obviously just screams mono dark. It's only for dark, and because of that, the effect is increased 30% instead of the usual 20%. And max HP could definitely be good if you're going for a tanky team. Want to get that survival in there? Pretty good. First skill is Suspicious Beaker. It'll inflict damage to one target, 20% chance to apply Weakening Agent to decrease accuracy for 2 turns. Alright, it's pretty interesting. Weakening Agent blinds the enemy who removes the effect for a turn and inflicts Looming Death. Whoa. Restores the ally with the lowest HP's HP by 5%. Alright, so skill 1 right off the bat sounds actually very powerful. Not only because it will have a bit of passive healing there, 5%. A lot of healers do that, but really not much else, except perhaps remove a debuff. But there's also quite a lot of utility in there. A very low chance to apply this, only 20%. So it definitely won't be anything reliable, but it will still be there. And when it does land and someone like a Rue or whatnot remove it, they will be blinded, which I believe is like a complete reduction in accuracy and they can't hit anything. Also inflicting Looming Death as a little bonus passive, so upping that skill if the chances go a lot higher might be a good idea, because I'll assume the passive HP will also get increased. Looking at the second skill, Thorough Examination. So she'll cast Strengthening Agent on an ally and 2 adjacent allies to restore 20% HP every turn for 2 turns. That already is pretty nice. It's basically 40% HP restoration, but it's like more effective. Because if you heal everyone 20% and someone's only missing like, you know, 25% and they get hit the next turn, well then there you go. You'll get healed again. This will also blind the enemy who removes that buff and will also inflict Looming Death. It also looks like the skill has the ability to revive an ally if there is an emergency response stack, which we haven't read about yet, but we'll get to that. Third skill is an AoE heal, which we don't see a lot of. 30% is pretty nice when it's complete AoE. You can also apply Strengthening Agent, but this time it's chance-based. 45%, but that does seem more like a little bonus there. I think the main effect is just the AoE healing, and there's a chance to basically cast skill 2 without the revival, granted there's an emergency response. But there is also an effect with these emergency response stacks on the 3rd skill, and if you do have some, it'll consume them all to decrease damage taken by all allies by 20% for 2 turns. So far so good. We need to jump into her passives, because that's kind of what makes the heroes unique. So her first passive will give her one of these when an ally or enemy die. All allies will have their recovery amount increased by 30% when it activates as well, and her damage taken will be reduced by 50% when it is present but does not activate. So I would assume that means when she has one, but of course if you use it through skill 2 or skill 3, she won't have that damage reduction anymore. And her level 60 hero talent, 60% chance to stun all enemies for a turn upon allies' death. What? Is that just permanent? I mean, think about something like Arena, my god. I mean, with all those revivers in there, her included, she is also a reviver with a skill cooldown of 4, which is awesome. You could just have like a super glass team and just keep stunning the entire team. 60% is very high for a 5-hit AoE stun. Also, when she dies, she'll revive with 50% HP, makes her turn come more quickly, and resets all cooldowns if the caster dies with an emergency stack. Okay, damn. Just the level 60 hero talent makes her sound up as hell. Everything up until that point sounded, you know, good. A good support role. Nothing too, I would say, incredible or out of the ordinary, but her level 60 hero talent just throws her into a new park in my opinion. Unless this once per battle also applies to the 60% chance to stun all enemies. Then of course it would still be a good level 60 hero talent, but not quite as overpowered as I'm initially making it sound right now. But if that can proc with every ally's death, that would be crazy. You can never really be sure with this once per battle down there, even with the period separating this sentence from the next. We'll basically just have to wait and see for that. We can also take a look at her individual skill animations. That is her first one. She writes a prescription and throws it at you, and you take damage. It's all good. Thorough examination. Again, writing prescriptions, and it looks like they helped. And yeah, that's pretty much Miss Etica. But yeah, personally, I'm probably going to wait to see if this 60% chance to stun can proc multiple times. If it can, she's an absolute must-have, especially if you go for PvP. If not, I think she's still good, especially if you want to raise a mono dark team like I do, and I'll probably still go for her either way. But I would like to know for sure, like going into it. But yeah, I guess that'll pretty much do it. Make sure to tell me what you think about her in the comments down below. I mean, to me, besides level 60 hero talent, sounds good as a healer, you know, but not broken. Besides, I guess you guys are tired of hearing me say level 60 hero talent by now. Leaving a like if you did happen to enjoy is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.